Hey friends. Alrighty. What do we got in here? We got Radfink on point 2A. Maxwell, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Maxwell the cat. Here come my dogs. They're going to join us apparently today. That'll be fun. Oh, Johnny B, Radfink. Hey, guys. Oh, no, come on. Get in the right position. Oh, let's share. Let's share. Slide is coming back again. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Which slide? I can't remember which slide you had sent out, bud. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good. Okay. I think that's everything. Okay. So the SB01. Awesome. How was everybody's weekend? Did everybody enjoy their long weekend? And everybody take some time to think about why we all get a long weekend. I hope so. I actually typically, for Memorial Day weekend, I tend to, when I was growing up, we used to go camping as a family, and that was something that we did in Alaska. We went to this place called Tangle Lakes. It was a lot of fun. But down here in Utah, that's just what everybody does. There's only like 5 places to go camping. In Alaska, you can go camping everywhere. So we usually actually stay home, and we try to support small businesses that are still open because they can't afford to close, and like go get a hotel and just kind of enjoy. Hey, Carrie, what's going on every day? Just try to enjoy our time in and around our community, and enjoy our time together, like as a family. Just because, like, I have been in the military in the reserves for almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years in November. And of that 20 years, probably 5 of those years, I've just been gone. Just not even around my family. So knowing, like, and I've lost a couple of friends. Like a really good buddy of mine from high school. He was killed in action. I have another buddy who he's still alive, but he has some very, very serious injuries and complications. Like he has a traumatic brain injury. He's in a wheelchair. He's pretty messed up from an IED explosion. There was a captain from here in our community, in and around our community, that passed away a couple years ago in an attack in Afghanistan. And my dad knew him, the captain from here in Ogden. He was in the Army National Guard. Before COVID and everything, so I remember when that happened. Yeah. While I was doing stuff with the Army on the border, we had a guy that how did I get a blister there? That's weird. There was a guy that was, I guess he something happened and he ended up committing suicide. So like I've lost a lot of good people that I know while in the service, and so like Memorial Day is a pretty somber day for me, and so I try to spend it with my family as much as possible because I know how quickly things can change. So no, you're good, 2A. You're good, man. I'm just a regular dude. I sit at a desk most of the time. What, as far as anybody knows, I'm Air Force, but I fly a desk. That's what I tell people. I fly a desk. It's it's an important role. It's just like, that's how we all feel, man. We're all just like, we're just one piece of the puzzle. We're all just one piece of the puzzle, and we all do our part. Some of us will say that other people are more important, but none of us will say that we're more important. I think the guys in the operator community, the special operations and things like that, I think those dudes have way more important roles than what I have. And I think my pilots have way more important roles than what I have, but they would probably say the opposite. So, Ammo, what's going on, bud? I know a place, Ammo. I know a place in northern Arizona where you can do that. There's a whole community there. Now, it might not be exactly what you have in mind, but I mean, if that's what you're looking for, I'm pretty sure they'll accommodate. I mean, you'll have to wear button-up shirts and jeans every day, and then everybody that you know that's a female will have to wear like a long gown with like poofy arms and have the same hairdo and all that. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I was kind of going off on a little bit of a somber tangent, thinking about Memorial Day, and yesterday was Memorial Day, and talking about what my family did, and then just trying to think of some strategies. I think I'm gonna try to go to a range today. If it's not busy, my wife and my daughter are gonna be busy doing stuff. I took this whole week off because I haven't had like a good week off from work in a while. So I might go hit up the range that Corey told me about. Corey, haven't seen him. Can they? They might be able to. I mean, I suppose that's up to you and the other villagers. It's a little weird. I wouldn't recommend living there. I wouldn't. See, I just accept the fact that one wife is enough, and I only have to deal with my kids until they're 18. No, I'm just kidding. I love my kids. I would do anything for my kids. So, so hey, I don't know if you guys saw, but I added on one of my posts. If you guys, if any of you guys carry a Glock 43X, actually, hold on, just a second. Okay. Did you see that? Did you see how sneaky it was? Nothing happened. So for any of you that are interested, and actually it's not just Glock 43X, but like the 43, this fits the 43X, it fits the micro dagger, it fits the Shadow System CR920. This is the Mission First Tactical in waistband minimalist holster. It's tiny, but it works really well if you don't mind just carrying magazines like in your pocket or whatever. And Mission First Tactical makes a whole bunch of holsters like this. If you ever want just like a super minimalist holster, dude, they're pretty solid. And I put an affiliate link to their Amazon web store. If you're ever interested, go check it out. Obviously, if you use the affiliate link, you don't have to use my affiliate link. I don't care. But if you want to, they do sometimes have some pretty good sales on Amazon, so that's why I have the link there. Yeah, if 43X MOS, but they also make them for the Glock 19. They make them for. They don't fit the daggers. They don't have one for the regular dagger. This one will work for the micro dagger, but they don't have one that's specific to the dagger. But they have them for Taurus, they have them for M&P, they have them for SIG. If you want to risk your balls, and I really kind of like them. They have other holsters too. I've actually used a couple of their holsters before, Mission First Tactical, and I think they're a pretty good product, guys. I know some people, people like We the People. I also have, like, on my big one, I have a CYA holster. I think CYA is probably just some front for a Chinese company, I'll be honest. But I really like the Mission First Tactical holsters. I think that they're pretty well, and they're pretty well priced. Like, I think this was like $30, which, I mean, for a minimalist in waistband holster, not bad. And it comes with a couple of other, like, wings and adapters so that you can go for like a wider stance, or you can check it out. It's pretty cool stuff. Check them out, Mission First Tactical. I know there's been a lot of videos. A lot of people have been putting videos about like 2025 EDC practices. That's why I did that video that I did the other day. I did that full-length video. Thank you guys for everybody that watched it. I know some people didn't like the dagger, that I did the dagger instead of, the 43X, the actual OEM Glock. But, dude, I like my daggers. I know some people say their tolerances aren't as good and they're not as well built. I haven't had a problem with mine. I know there's plenty of you that, make the reference, Poor Meadow State Armory. That's fine. I can dump. Oh, awesome. Thanks, John. I can dump less than $100 into one of these Palmetto State Armory daggers, and I am more than happy to take it up against anybody's Glock. So, I don't know how much you guys put into your Glocks, but I can dump $100 into my dagger and have a pretty solid piece, as opposed to people that spend $100. I mean, you're going to spend $100 just on a trigger for a Glock, unless you shop the right places, and then you can find one. Hey, J&K, what's going on, man? Yeah, okay, there you go. All right, we went overnight, you guys. We saw you yesterday, and we went overnight, and we weren't even gone for 24 hours. And you guys got to play outside all day, and I know you had friends. So, okay, go lie down. Go lie down by Ash. Okay. No, he can have pets too, Coco. Okay, there we go. I'm done. You guys are getting annoyed. Yeah, I know, Johnny. I wish that they did. I think they just don't want to deal with the hassle of like Illinois laws and like all the restrictions that Illinois puts on their firearms and stuff. Maybe once they start doing the shotguns, but I think even then, because they're gonna do like a Mossberg clone. I think, is it a Mossberg or a Beretta? They might be doing a Beretta clone. Marshy, yes, I remember you. Hello. I remember your profile picture. So I know that they're going to be doing some new shotguns. I'm actually quite excited because, you know, I've said I want to get a good semi-auto shotgun for the house. Yeah. Does it have a safety on it, or do you just not keep it loaded? Just use it at the range. I actually saw a really nice 226. I saw a really nice 226 at a pawn shop the other day for like 600 or 700, and I was like, but I also saw at that same pawn shop a fully built. Good to know. Good to know. I saw fully built with an optic. Somebody built a 300 blackout. So it was a solid 16-inch 300 blackout with an optic. So I don't know. And it was only like, I think it was like 300. Kablamo. Ammo, didn't you just buy a new shotgun? Didn't you get like a clone, some kind of clone, recently? That was in one of your videos, and then they schwacked your peepee, right? Oh, you did get okay, you did get a real Beretta 300. If I can find one used that isn't like out of, I'm kind of like a used car. I struggle with brand new guns unless it's like PSA or like something that I can put together, that I can put the pieces and the parts together myself. You know, bust out my armorer's tools and do all that and assemble everything, put the triggers together. And the reason that I say that is because I feel like brand new guns, when they're brand new, sometimes I feel like they're just super overpriced. Like I've seen, but then again, I've seen like old guns that are way more expensive than they were when they were new. But I think that's just, you know, inflation and everything. What's up, J-Dog? Yeah, that's Ryan. Oh yeah, that's right, everybody. J Dog is like a super. He's like nose up elitist now. He bought a CZ75. Or no, you bought a. What did you buy? You bought like a PO1 or something like that. J Dog, I can't remember which one you got recently. Yeah. So, yeah, I think when I get the payout for the month of May, which it looks like that video is. So remember that day I put out the video. I was like, something is wrong with my YouTube channel. Like I couldn't see anything. You guys were telling me that there were views, but it was like way restricted views. Like there was a bunch of stuff that started getting hit for AdSense and everything, and it was limiting the visibility. I even had limited visibility on a couple of my push-up videos. Yeah. But it was that day that my what's going on, Pop Out? That my breaking in my viral video, it just went just died. So that I find it odd that the day my channel was not able to see views and it was not able to it kept getting hit with limited visibility on everything that I was putting out, that's the day my video died. I saw yours. Yours was good. The revolver, that was awesome. Dude, it's crazy how stuff like that, like I mean, I put effort into the one that I did, the freaking Sweet Caroline video, but it was more like because I just thought it was funny, so I put a little bit more effort into it. Because most of the time, it's the that's part of the reason why I want to get a revolver. I've also found that if I don't start the video with Baba Yaga saying like, "Oh, hello friends, it's Izai," if I don't start and take like the first 5 to 12 seconds of the video of him doing an introduction, then it gets flagged. So if you're gonna do lots of shorts, I highly recommend doing like 10 to 12 seconds of introductions. So that's the one thing I've been thinking about more, because I already have a shotgun. I have lots of ARs. I have a couple shotguns. I have pistols. I feel like I need to get a revolver to start doing revolver content. I feel like if I did a revolver, then I could start posting some of those stupid revolver videos. Yeah, a lot of people like Baba Yaga. I don't know why, because like he's just it's so stupid because like the accent is never the same. Nobody, like, some days he's Russian, some days he's French, some days he's Spanish, some days he's Italian. But it's kind of fun being this character that's just like this super bombastic European dude who moved to America and just loves America. It's kind of funny. So I'm glad that you guys like Baba Yaga. I'm glad that most people seem to like Baba Yaga. If I do a Baba Yaga video, I'm usually going to get about 1,000 views. Which is funny because, like, I kind of feel like I need to come up with something like the Sweet Caroline video, but do, like, something with Baba Yaga. Yeah. I need to figure that out. I've got to be careful. I'm trying to find balance though, because I like using my audio. I like using other people's audio, because it definitely gets more views when you use other people's audio. Um, and I know I need to build up more of a subscriber base and like a consistent subscriber base. I have you guys, you know, we're all part of the same group, and most of you guys are, you know, we all support each other. Yeah, that's what I stopped putting hashtags in my descriptions. I do just video tags. Yeah. Well, thank you, noob. Um, yeah, I mean it's fun. It's just it's finding that balance and finding what people like. You get a little taste of that viral stuff, and then you're like, oh man, I need to be making more videos that go viral like that. Um, and so I need to figure out how to do something along those lines. Um, I have an idea, but I need to wait to see what happens with. It's going to depend on what happens with NFA and the suppressors and SBRs. I have an idea that's going to involve Baba Yaga, and I think it will go over pretty well. If that happens, then I think I've got a pretty good idea that'll work. And I'm still learning how to like do different stuff with my camera and with the different editing tools, because I just use free tools, and I use my iPhones. Um, Somebody's like, you should just get like a really good camera. I was like, I don't know that I need to. Like, if I did anything, I'd maybe pay for Adobe or what I want to do is if that goes through, if I hadn't thought about doing that. I've seen people do it. I just hadn't thought about doing it. Yeah. What I would like to do is I have a couple buddies that have 3D printers, and I think I want to I think I want to print a couple of suppressors if that thing goes through, because if that thing goes through, oh, I am going to I know that they make um, flow through with the flow through baffles, so that you don't get as much of the blowback. I know they're not quite as quiet as titanium and steel and aluminum, but I definitely want to. I want to get the suppressor. I'm gonna print some suppressors that I can just attach to the A2 bird cages, because that's what I have on these two ARs, the 9 and the 5.56. No, you can do five. I've seen 5.56. I've seen 7.62 by 39. I've seen 9mm. I've seen 22. I've seen it all on printed ones. You can print when you do, not when you do the liquid printing, but when you do the actual filament. There's a couple different filaments that you can get, and there's one that's a type of nylon that is extremely dense when you do full hardness. And there's a couple guys that I follow on X, and they said they're sitting there like, I am prepping and I am gonna just put it out there for anybody to get for like 99 cents, and you can just buy the plants for 99 cents. So I am really getting excited about that. Because I'm gonna tell my buddy, like, dude, I'll give you $30. I want you to print me whatever you can for $30 for suppressors. Here are the models that I want. So And then eventually, I want to get my own printer because I think that would make some cool content. Is to do like a time lapse of printing a suppressor. I think I think sawdusts already are. So again, a lot of states like the state of Utah, I can make my own suppressors here in Utah. Nobody cares. All right. It's that I still have to go fill out a Form 1 and pay $200 to register it. And then I also have to have the guns that it attaches to, like they have to have a Type 1. They have to have a Form 1 because they're a Type 1 firearm because they can be suppressed. Or because I have a suppressor that I use with it. It's stupid. You have to have, that's what people don't talk about. You have to have one tax stamp for the suppressor, but you also have to have a tax stamp for any firearm that you attach that suppressor to. If you don't, you have a suppressor that you can't use with anything. You have to tax stamp your firearms that you put on the suppressor. Or you put the suppressor on. Legally. I'm not saying everybody does. I think a lot of people... I'm not saying that a lot of people do that, but... Yeah. Dangerous is that correct me if I'm wrong, but when I first got my, because I got my trust because of my 9mm AR, I ordered it as a pistol and they sent me a rifle kit. So I'm kind of in this area where I have a rifle lower, but it's come on. Really? Okay. You don't need paperwork for the firearm as well, because I was told that to be fully legal, you need paperwork for the firearm and for the suppressor, not just for the suppressor. Yeah, so I bought the lower, my Aero Precision lower. I bought it on Aero Precision, and I ordered the pistol lower. But then I ordered a kit for a pistol from Delta Team Tactical, and I ended up getting a rifle kit. So I don't know. Okay. And then was I correct in my saying that like if you do have a can, not only do you have to have a tax stamp for the can, but you have to have a tax stamp for a tax stamp for whatever the firearm is that you put the suppressor on, correct? Okay. Someone, because the guy that did my trust, he said you'll probably want to get a tax stamp for any of the firearms that you put a can on, because in theory the ATF could mess with you with that. They said. He said he has seen things that he's had to fight, and like he's fought down to just a first time fine for a first time offense. Oh, well, that's good. That's good to know. Oh, oh, fetch. All I know is I want. Oh, I know. When I went and did my trust, I went and did my trust, and then because I got my trust in 2020, and then in 2021, I was saving up money because what I was going to do is I was going to buy a can and put it in the trust, and I was going to spend. I'd saved up $200 for the tax stamp, and because I wasn't making super a lot of money then, and I found a can for like 500, and so I was like, okay, $700 for a suppressor. That's a lot, but it'll be fun. Um, and I had, my wife and my kids and a couple of my family members. They were in my trust, but it was right after they changed that law that said that everyone in my trust had to go through the background check, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy a suppressor now. I'm not gonna make all of them, and I didn't want to go through the process of removing everyone from my trust, doing a background check just for me, and then adding everyone because my understanding is they still have to go through a background check. Gotcha. Some good info, everybody, from Becoming Dangerous. This is stuff that I probably should know better so that when I start doing my FFL process. Then I'm set there. Oh man. Um. Yeah, it's possible. J Dog. I don't know. There's another part of me that wonders how many people are going to get they're just going to buy those fuel filters, the fuel filters that everybody sees advertised, all the Chinese fuel filters, and just thread them up and go for it. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the cans that can attach to. They have like the attachment so that you can just put them over top of like a bird cage or whatever. Welcome to censorship. Yeah. Tell me about it, Ordnance. So, go for it, Johnny B. I don't know. I don't know how many of us. You're the only person I think in the chat right now that's from Illinois and has to deal with some of the issues you deal with in Illinois. Oh yeah. Oh, I am fully convinced that that day that none of my videos were showing any views. I couldn't see any views. I couldn't see any analytics. I couldn't see any impressions. I did like 6 videos that day and it just said 0. The only time I saw views was when I went to YouTube and found the videos on my channel. Then I could see how many views it had, and they were super low. And that was the day that my viral video. It was still going up, and then that day is when it just went. I think YouTube decided that they were done with my channel, because I contacted chat and they're like, there's nothing we can do. It just is what it is. So, yeah, I think they were, you know, they were making decent money, but I think they didn't like that video was doing well. Ordnance, is that what happened with yours, with your squib video? Was it just like rolling and rolling and then it just... Did it just stop? Or did something weird happen and like your whole channel got funky and then it stopped? Because my whole channel got jacked up and that's when my video stopped doing well. I think if I had enough consistent, solid views and followers, like if I was getting 10, 20,000 views on every video that I did, even my long form, if on my long form I was getting 100 to 500 views on my long form videos, I think I would just make a video one day that says, I'm moving over to X and Rumble for my content from here on out. Because YouTube is censoring this, they're censoring this. Please come check me out on that. I think I would do that. Ordnance, I don't know if you said anything. All I saw was the only things I can see are welcome to censorship and okay. So... yeah. That's what I'm afraid of. And I'm really, really struggling with doing TikTok. My wife does TikTok. And she really likes TikTok. And she has said that she really, really, really thinks, because like TikTok is even kind of less restrictive in terms of like gun content. She said she really thinks that like if I did TikTok, it would help the channel here grow exponentially. Because people on TikTok do a lot of times. Are they more restrictive? Hey Hunter, what's going on, bud? Welcome to today's stream. Oh, yeah, tell us the news. So Hunter was doing stuff for law enforcement. He took his test, his physical test, he did really well. And I think he was waiting for a sponsor. And he did his academics, and I feel like he did his academics and did well on his academics the last I heard. That's lame. Jesus is here. So I'm very excited to hear what Hunter has to say. Oh, sweet. Okay, Hunter had his interview. I hope you got it, Hunter. You're a solid guy. I think you have a very very high probability. There's always a place for good LEOs. Everybody everybody send good vibes, prayers, whatever it is that you do, send it to Hunter. He had his interview with a law enforcement organization, and hopefully he gets that positive call. That's true. J Dog, when are you going to join the Army or the Marines? I told you you don't need that thing that you were going to work on. You can just go into a recruiter and they will help get you scheduled. Unless you want to try to join the Air Force, then you do need that other piece of paper. We're just chilling. I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to see if any news comes up about the Senate and the votes and what the plan is with the NFA and the Hearing Protection Act and Short Act. Do not do what Dangerous just said. Do not do that. Do not go undesignated. Because I'm looking forward to. I said, you know, everybody here has got their fingers crossed. I know my friends in Colorado. Some of them are. I think the content creators in Colorado. I think they're pretty. They're looking at the suppressor thing in a positive way because it's what it's going to force Colorado to do. But okay, so in during the process of the House Ways and Means, House Finance Committee, and all that, I think it's Representative Burlinson. I can't remember where he's from. It might be Ohio, but Representative Burlinson came up with the Hearing Protection Act, the HPA. And what this is this would remove suppressors completely from the National Firearms Act. No more $200 tax stamp, no more registration. Well, the Republicans in the Ways and Means Committee, they didn't like that, and they said, oh, well, we've removed just the $200 tax stamp, so because it doesn't really do anything anyways, and that's not what the purpose of the bill was. The purpose of the bill was to remove it from the NFA completely, because when you buy a suppressor on the NFA and you fill out those forms, you have effectively, the ATF has created a public registry that can be requested by anyone through the Freedom of Information Act. They can also do the same thing with 4473s of anyone who's purchased a suppressor, so then they know who every registered gun owner is that owns a suppressor, at least. That was the whole point of the Hearing Protection Act and removing it. Was to get rid of the tracking that the ATF does through the NFA. Well, they also submitted what's called the Short Act, and that would eliminate short barrel rifles, sawed-off shotguns, short barrel shotguns, any other weapons, all that from the NFA as well. That didn't make it to the initial voting at the House level, which finished last week. Just the Hearing Protection Act stuff was. But it was voted into the big, beautiful bill. It was added. It was approved, 216 to 214. There were 2 Republicans that voted nay on the big, beautiful bill. I get it. I get that there was stuff in there that nobody wanted. Nothing gets done in this country now, politics-wise and budgets-wise, without garbage being thrown into these bills. Nobody makes one subject bills. No one's passed a law that says bills have to be one subject anymore. They just don't. But the suppressors being removed from the NFA. So the word is that Gun Owners of America, Firearms Policy Coalition, and Gun Rights of America, they are lobbying and working very hard so that at the Senate level, the bill also adds the SBR portion of things to be removed from NFA. And what that would do is that would force SBRs and suppressors to no longer be in the NFA. That would also be good because if any states try to make those things illegal, they would have to specifically state that a firearm is illegal, because the verbiage that's written, on those as part of those bills and those acts says that they are protected arms. Yeah? Okay, you guys are gonna go pick up pageant stuff? And, okay. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna go say bye to my wife and my daughter. I'm coming. Whoa! Mayo de noche. All right.
Is there poop back here?
I am back. The joys of having cats. They poop everywhere if they're mad. Everybody leave? Probably.
I'm giving them wet food. Just don't want them to be pissed.
J-Dog's here.
Hi, J-Dog.
Okay, go put it in the other room. Go mix it with the dry food.
You guys are acting like you haven't been fed in days.
Oh.
Sure.
Man. All right. Well, we almost made it a whole hour. We got 4 people watching. No, you're good, man. I'm gonna try to get on later tonight. Yeah, and do a later night stream. I need to figure out how to get more people excited to come into the streams. So we used to, for a while there, we were doing really well on streams, and then streams just kind of died off, and I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, I think I might go to the range, get some video. I might go to Corey's range, J-Dog. I also might make a video on wax slugs. Been looking into that. Might do that. So that might be a fun video to do. Anyways. Yeah, I know. I need to make my background a little bit better. Might just have to suck it up and put holes in the wall and hang the guns up and do it all the right way. So, yeah, I want to do a video on that, and I want to do a video on like the ballistics of it as compared to like regular, because you know you can obtain wax slugs via bird shot and like target shot, and then show like how it works like in comparison to a regular slug, like if you use it on sheetrock, so you can see like it doesn't do the over penetration thing the way that other ones do, because I've seen that. So it works really well for what it needs to, and then it also doesn't over penetrate when it should. Exactly. When they penetrate certain things and other things, and then they disperse. So, yeah, that might be coming soon too. Anyways, I'm gonna kill the stream. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Thanks for taking a gander and visiting and chatting with us. And you guys have a wonderful day too. Thank you. I'll try to be on later tonight. Keep going. Guns!